This semester I took capstone, social behavior, and professional writing. But what I'm going to just talk about is the professional writing piece. My project, which is a long-term project, is just teaching nonviolence in schools. I'm trying to get everybody, all grades in schools, educated in nonviolence. I started off my project the first year here as making that the project, but as each year passed, I realized I had to narrow it down and focus it more. So in doing that, I've realized how much more work I've done when I've scaled down my project. When it was when I first started my project, it was this big lofty idea of getting all schools and kids educated in nonviolence, but that was a big barrier to it. So I scaled it down and just trying to get the teachers educated in nonviolence. And by scaling it down, I've had more teachers involved. I got a chance to reach more schools because it's easier to teach teachers. Well, it's more sustainable, I would say, to get the teachers educated in nonviolence because they're the ones that's in the classroom. So my professional writing course helped me a lot this year. As you can tell, sometimes I don't know if those that know me, I when I write kind of the same way that I speak. Um, and I'm good at reading and writing. I've always been good at reading and writing since the first grade. I've always had to go to the third grade for English and writing because I was advanced in reading and writing. Um, but I'm a storyteller. I'm not a professional writer. So when people, at my job, I never really had to do a lot of paperwork. There was always somebody else there to fill out the data, the stats, or whatever like that, and do the paperwork. I was in charge of making sure the trainings were delivered. So, but as I'm moving on, as I am, once I get this finally graduate and get this bachelor's degree, I know that I'm going to have to brush up on my professional writing skills. And it was a little bit of a struggle. I still have a hard time of realizing am I plagiarizing something? Am I not? Am I am I citing the right places? Am I going to the right source? This and that. So I still had those things. The professional writing piece really helped me with it. Again, I still when I do my paperwork and reporting, I'm more of a storyteller. Um, I'm just to me, when I read professional writing, it's very wordy for me. It's always been confusing for me. I don't understand some of the terminology. To me, if you tell me a story, you know, Jimmy got shot in the head last night. To me, I understand everything. Not well, there was a terminal shooting and this guy was, you know, this and that. So the professional writing really helped me with my writing. And now that I'm moving ahead, I'm going to be in charge of writing grants. I'm going to be in charge of looking for funding. I'm going to have to do reporting on the trainings that I'm doing. And where in the past I had other people doing that, I would just tell them what I wanted to say. I realized that, you know, in my quest to be my own consultant, I'm going to have to need these professional writing skills. So some of the big tens that I used was accountability. I had to be accountable for myself. I had to be resilient because, again, I'm a storyteller. I just want to tell you what happened, and that's it. I don't want. I want somebody else to deal with all the paperwork and the stats and the diagrams and stuff like that. Um, I had to use critical thinking also because when I'm doing trainings and I have to write a report about it, it's never the same group of people when I do trainings. I have from people that are highly super intelligent, educated to low level intelligence education, all in the same training. So how do I get that verbiage out? How do I speak for this person and this person at the same time? Mhm. But other than that, I think my project is moving along nicely. I'll have graduated before my project is complete. But I the past 3 4 years with College Unbound has really helped move my project along in ways that I never seen happening. Um, Not saying that I didn't believe it was going to happen. I just didn't see that it was going to be in this direction that it took. So I'm very happy for that. And that concludes my professional presentation on professional writing.
Yay! I'm going to turn your thing off and walk around you.
Right.
Thoughts, comments?